Virginia Hill, Queen of the Mob. Virginia Hill, 1916–1966, was a prominent figure in American organized crime during the mid-20th century, famously associated with mobsters like Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. Born Oni Virginia Hill in Lipscomb, Alabama, she left home as a teenager for Chicago in 1933. There, she worked as a waitress and shimmy dancer, and came into contact with members of the Chicago outfit, including Al Capone. She quickly gained the trust of powerful figures like Joe Epstein, becoming a valuable courier and money launderer for the mob, handling substantial sums of cash and placing bets at racetracks. On this day in 1916, we would see the birth of the queen of the gangsters' malls, Virginia Hill. Hill was a Chicago outfit courier who was famous for being the mistress and then girlfriend of Murder Inc. mobster Bugsy Siegel following the breakdown of his marriage. Her main aspirations in life were to make it to the big stage as a Hollywood actress. In her younger life, she held down many jobs to support herself, and it was during her time working as a waitress that she would start to date mobsters, such as Joe Adonis, Tony Accardo, Frank Costello, and Frank Nitti. With her connections to the underworld growing strong, she eventually became a bagwoman for the mob, moving funds into Swiss bank accounts. It was during this phase of her life she was introduced to Bugsy Siegel, and soon the pair fell in love. Despite this, Siegel never did divorce his wife Esta. In the 1940s, he began working on the Flamingo Hotel, which was the nickname Siegel used for Virginia Hill. Unfortunately, Bugsy got greedy with money and started using it to fund his lavish lifestyle. That, along with poor financial returns from the opening of the Flamingo, meant he had to go, despite Meyer Lansky getting him a second chance to turn things around. Was Virginia Hill involved in the murder? Various sources tell us that she was threatened by New York mob bosses in the week prior to Bugsy's death, and they told her to leave California and head to Chicago on a plane. She died from an overdose in 1966 in an apparent suicide at the age of 49. However, some believe that the mob had something to do with it. The last time she was spotted alive was 2 days before her death, when she met with Joe Adonis and his bodyguards who were escorting her home. Perhaps she tried to bribe them for cash. On this day,
later, Virginia Hill Hauser, friend of slain gangster Bugsy Siegel and other racketeers, is asked how she rose from rags to riches.
Well, I worked for a while. Then the men I was around that gave me things were not gangsters or racketeers or whatever you call these other people. The only time I ever got anything from them was going out and having fun and maybe a few presents. Like a lot of girls that they've given me things and bought me everything I want. Then when I was with Ben, he paid for everything.
By Ben, you mean Ben Siegel?
Yes. And he gave me some money, too, and bought me a house in Florida.
Committee Counsel Halley asks Mrs. Hauser how well she knew Frank Costello.
And did you have occasion to meet Costello on other occasions?
No, only when I used to see him in restaurants or someplace.
And you did see him from time to time in restaurants?
A few times.
Did you ever get any money from Costello?
No.
Admit.
You want to have a good time, have a party?
Told an agent for the Internal Revenue that you were on occasion asked to carry cash between Chicago and New York.
That is not true, and if they told that, they told a lie. The only cash I've ever carried is what belonged to me. And I've never carried anything for anybody, and if anyone said that, that's a big lie. And I don't care who said it.
If anybody said you
Yes,
said it?
yes, because the only cash I ever carried was my own, and I never carried anything for anybody. Cash or anything else.
You never carried anything?
No, I didn't.